We told you earlier this year how the Air Force Academy has moved forward with the Trump administration's plans to slash civilian faculty and staff numbers. Many fear this action will lead to a decrease in the Air Force Academy's academic rigor, a loss of majors, and a loss of accreditation, all concerns the Academy says won't come to pass. This interview offers us unique insight into what's been going on behind closed doors.
The average American, was cheering for these cuts, cheering for civilians to be fired.
Meet Dr. Brian Johns. Friday was his last day as an assistant professor of systems engineering at the Air Force Academy.
When you're talking waste, fraud, and abuse, I haven't seen any of that from civilians at the Air Force Academy.
He left a tenured faculty position as department chair at an Iowa college to teach at the Air Force Academy in 2023.
I've always had great respect for the military, and if there's a way for me to use my technical skills and my teaching ability to help out, our nation.
Now, like others at the Air Force Academy this year, he's choosing to leave rather than risk being fired, as the Trump administration and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency have sought to greatly reduce the federal civilian workforce. On February 27th, Dr. Johns received an email from his department head.
And then I was finally called to his office, and at that time, he told me I was going to be fired the next day.
His boss told him, despite what the email said, it was not from poor performance. Dr. Johns says he earned top marks on his job reviews. But the firing never came. Perhaps, he says, because of nationwide lawsuits as federal employees across the U.S. pushed back. Regardless, he figured it was only a matter of time before firings actually took place. I asked him what that felt like after he uprooted his life to teach Academy cadets.
I think a little betrayed by the government to a certain extent. I was committing to a long-term position at the Air Force Academy, and it kind of felt like they didn't hold up their end of the bargain.
He says the process hasn't been transparent, much of what the public knows coming through leaks to newsrooms. In an August Air Force Academy Board of Visitors meeting, Congressman Jeff Crank spoke in support of keeping civilian faculty. Academy Superintendent Tony Bauernfein did not commit to doing so, instead reading from a prepared statement, stressing no majors have been eliminated, while acknowledging the difficulty of filling departing civilian positions.
While not a direct one-to-one pathway, we have been working with the Department of the Air Force and Air Force Personnel Center for civilian teammates who have departed to bring in military members from active duty and the reserve that have the requisite academic credentials to continue the academic rigor at the United States Air Force Academy.
As for Dr. Johns, he'll be teaching at Colorado State University. He and other critics who've spoken out still fear these moves will only weaken the institution's educational credibility.
I think the big question still remains that why is this happening? We've seen an increase in defense budgets, but we're still cutting at civilians in the DoD. It's not going to help the overall situation.
Last week in the Academy's Board of Visitors meeting, Superintendent Bauernfein defended the cuts, saying it's happening across the Air Force and Space Force, saying he's confident the Academy will maintain its academic rigor and accreditation. To view our previous coverage of this topic and the civilian hiring freeze, plus how it's impacting the United States Air Force Academy, be sure to head to our website, KOAA.com. You can also scan that QR code right there on your screen and download the News 5 app for the very latest.